Dana here again with more Tuesday tips for leaders of volunteers, and this is our third and final part in planning the perfect presentation. And this is very specifically about what are your public speaking skills, what are your strengths or weaknesses or challenges or things you want to learn more about, and a couple of easy tips if you're just getting into doing webinars or public speaking on some of the simple ways to enhance your performance and literally share your voice in a more effective way. And if you are presenting a session with other co-hosts, other co-presenters, especially if you're going to all be beaming in remotely to the broadcast event or a live interactive but online virtual hybrid session, very, very important to not only have everybody practice on their own and time out their sections, but put in your notes or in the script really for that whole shape of show idea that where those handoffs are to each other, and if at all possible have at least one dress rehearsal where all of you are on a Zoom, on a WebEx, on a FaceTime call together, and you're timing it and timing the handoffs and the run through of the entire show for who is handling what sections or what breakout rooms and all of that stuff. And that gets you closer to having that perfect presentation ready to go. So one of my favorite tips to give out is record yourself. Not just practicing in front of pets or friends or family, but make a recording and watch for what you do with your body and your hands, how often you blink. What does your voice sound like? Are there too many so's or ums or uhs? Are you running out of breath because you just climbed to the top of a meadow by a redwood tree? Any of those factors on kind of replicating as much as you can the circumstances where you're doing the presentation, whether that you're going to pre-record it and you have a lot of chances to record and edit, or you're practicing for a live streaming or broadcast event, or you're practicing for an in-person indoor or outdoor event that you can do safely. And whether or not you're speaking in person with or without a mask comes into it as well. So record yourself. See what you don't already know about the conscious and unconscious things you're doing. You want to use your hand gestures very deliberately, and if you are pre-recording or you're going to do a virtual event, know what the frame is, know what's seen, and that's another way to kind of record yourself and try to get a sense of how much of you is being seen on screen. Is it kind of chest or neck up, or is it half body or full body if you're doing something virtually. I have a lot of Tuesday tips about vocal technique and public speaking and things like that, so I'll link to some of those as well to dig deeper into some of those skills. But really, it's understanding yourself and really discovering your voice. Don't try to be like someone else. It's great to watch speakers that you admire their style or their presentation technique or just like the sound of their voice or how they look. But really, this is about you honing in on and finding how you share your expertise and literally practice your own voice. It can be hard to watch yourself and hear yourself if you're not used to it. So avoid the shame spiral of thinking everything is terrible all the time. I guarantee you it isn't. All of us, no matter how long we've been doing public speaking or media production or on-camera work, there's always a way to get better, and there's always something to kind of tweak and work on a little bit as well. You also want to pay attention to what are you going to wear, especially if you're on camera. And I've had some tips before, but really, really easy solution is a solid color that's a pretty neutral color that helps stand out against whatever background you're using, whether that's a real background like I have here or a virtual or green screen background. And again, as I mentioned in part 2 of this series, see what the technical aspects are. If you're on camera and you're wearing something that has tiny little patterns or check marks, that's going to do what's called strobing. It's not going to look as good. So really safe to stick with business casual and solid colors for what you're doing and what you're wearing, and using deliberate and very intentional and emphasizing your point types of hand signals. So I hope you've enjoyed this mini-series in planning the perfect presentation, and let me know if you'd like some one-on-one coaching or other kinds of Tuesday tips that dig deeper into any of these skill sets. We'll see you next time.